देखिए, जैसे जैसे भारत अर्बनाइज कर रहा है तो डीएम, पुलिस कमिश्नर, म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर और जो इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं, जब तक इन चारों पांचों की जब तक अच्छी कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होगी तब तक आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। क्या
अच्छा
प्रॉब्लम?
सर, अगर मैं आम नागरिक की तरह मैं देखूं तो डीजीसीए जो सिविल एविएशन देखती है, उसके जो डायरेक्टर जनरल हैं फैज अहमद किदवाई, वो एक आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं। सर्वेयर जनरल के जो हेड हैं, जो मैप्स देखती हैं कंट्री के, वो भी एक आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं, पहले फौजी होते थे। तो सरस डेयरी जो राजस्थान में है, उनके जो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं श्रुति भारद्वाज, वो भी आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं।
देखिए, बिकॉज ऑफ रिजर्वेशंस, व्हाट इज दैट, जिसको आईपीएस होना था वो आईएएस हो जाएगा। किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड को लिंक किया सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड के साथ, सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड को लिंक किया हमने प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना के साथ, और एक टिक में सब कुछ हो जाता। अब तो खैर जगह जगह में, मैं तो जब ट्रैवल करता हूँ तो अरुणाचल के ईटानगर में भी देखता हूँ आईएएस कोचिंग सेंटर है, और कपूरथला में भी है, और मेरठ में भी है, और जगह जगह पे ये हैं।
नमस्कार, फेयर ऑब्जर्वर हिंदी में आपका स्वागत है। आज हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर संजीव चोपड़ा, 1985 बैच के आईएएस ऑफिसर। सर ने वेस्ट बंगाल में भी सर्व किया है, उत्तराखंड में भी, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में भी उनकी सर्विस रही है। सर लाल बहादुर शास्त्री नेशनल एकेडमी ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जैसे प्रतिष्ठित इंस्टीट्यूट के डायरेक्टर भी रह चुके हैं। आज हम सर से आईएएस, गवर्नेंस और भारत के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फ्यूचर के बारे में खुलकर बात करेंगे। सर, आपने 35 साल आईएएस में सर्विस की है। अगर आप पीछे मुड़कर देखें तो भारत की जो गवर्नेंस सिस्टम है, जो वर्तमान का गवर्नेंस मॉडल है, इसकी सबसे बड़ी ताकत और सबसे बड़ी कमजोरी क्या है? ताकत से शुरू करते हैं सर।
थैंक यू रोहन, अच्छा लग रहा है आपसे बात करके। पहला तो ये कि छोटा सा पॉइंट है, लेकिन मैंने 36 साल भारत सरकार की नौकरी की और अब पेंशन की। तो
अच्छा
इसी जो बड़ी स्ट्रेंथ है देश की गवर्नेंस स्ट्रक्चर की, वो ये है कि पॉलिटिकल विसिस्सिट्यूड से हम काफी इंसुलेटेड रहे हैं। देखिए, 85 से लेके अब तक, जब हम 85 से लेके आज तक का जो हम 4 दशक देखेंगे, तो इसमें बहुत सारी पॉलिटिकल डिफिकल्टीज, बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस रहे। देश ने बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स देखी, लेकिन इन सब प्रॉब्लम्स के बीच में भी एक मजबूत ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हमेशा रही है। और मुझे लगता है कि जब हम बात करते हैं तो सिर्फ बात आईएएस की नहीं, बात आईएएस, आईपीएस, फॉरेन सर्विस, फॉरेस्ट सर्विस, सेंट्रल सर्विसेज, वो पूरा जो अपरेटस है, पूरे स्टेट अपरेटस की हमें बात करनी चाहिए। कई बार क्या होता है कि हम कहते हैं आईएएस इज दिस, बट आईएएस इज नॉट आईएएस without the supporting services. I won't even use the word supporting. I would say equivalent services. For instance, the IAS and the IPS and the foreign service and the entire batch, it goes together, right? So it is that kind of cohesion, that kind of coordination which has kept this country, I would think, stable, together, structurally far better than we were in 1985. देखिए, मुझे अभी तक बड़ा क्लियरली याद है कि 85 में Punjab was on the boil, Assam was on the boil, Kashmir issues had started, Gorkhaland agitation had started, left-wing extremism was very strong. तो उन दिनों की सिचुएशन से और अब की सिचुएशन में बहुत ज़्यादा देश में स्ट्रक्चरल स्ट्रेंथ जो है और इंस्टीट्यूशनल कैपेसिटी, चैलेंजेस के साथ मुकाबला करने की जो हमारी एबिलिटी है, वो बहुत बढ़ गई है। और इस 40 साल में बहुत ज्यादा नए इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट्स भी हुए। देखिए, हमारे देश की जो सबसे बड़ी जो खासियत, सबसे बढ़िया जो स्ट्रेंथ ये है कि हर क्राइसिस के बाद उसको सॉल्व करने की जो अप्रोच है, वो हमेशा से पॉजिटिव रही है। It has been more proactive rather than reactive. Let's take an example. See, Bhopal gas tragedy was a major tragedy of 1984. हमारे सारे environment related acts जो हैं, they are post 1984. I mean, उसके बाद एक ट्रेजेडी हुई, उसके बाद में सिचुएशन हुई, हमारे देश में बहुत फ्लड्स आए, बहुत लैंडस्लाइड्स आए, सुनामी आई, उसके बाद में एनडीआरएफ एंड एसडीआरएफ के, इनफैक्ट सो मच सो कि अब जब कोई क्राइसिस होती है देश में, जैसे वेदर इट वाज द टनल क्राइसिस दैट वी फेस इन उत्तराखंड और द सडन फ्लड्स दैट वी हैड इन वेरियस पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री, आवर रिस्पांस इज वेरी क्विक. Our response is very effective. Not only our response for ourselves, our response in reaching out to whether it is Sri Lanka, whether it is Bangladesh, whether it is Myanmar, whether it is Turkey, or whether it is Afghanistan, we know how to handle things. So we have not been scared of a crisis. we've had many crises, like all nations will have crisis. चैलेंज रोहन हमेशा होता है कि क्या आप अपनी डिफिकल्टीज को एक्सेप्ट करके उसके बाद उसका कोई इंस्टीट्यूशनल फॉर्मेट निकालते हैं या सिर्फ रोते रहते हैं. तो आई थिंक एज अ कंट्री वी हैव बीन एबल टू ग्रो इंटेलिजेंटली एंड स्ट्रेंथन आवरसेल्व्स इंस्टीट्यूशनली टू हैंडल डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशंस.
बिल्कुल सर. आईएएस को काफी बार स्टील फ्रेम ऑफ इंडिया भी बोला जाता है. तो अगर उस नजरिए से देखें तो आईएएस में कितने चेंजेस आए हैं सर? आपने एनवायरमेंटल लॉज बताए.
मैं एक और बात कर रहा हूँ रोहन की, जब मैं आईएएस की बात करूंगा तो मैं सब सर्विसेज की बात करूंगा, क्योंकि
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
यू नो अच्छा देखिए, बहुत सारी चेंजेस हो गई हैं जब मैंने सर्विस ज्वाइन की थी अब तक. देयर हैव बीन मेनी चेंजेस. पहला सबसे बड़ा चेंज तो ये है कि एक जमाने में और मतलब क्योंकि उस समय तक जितने भी लोग लीडरशिप पोजीशन में थे, दे वर ऑल वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड विद द आईसीएस मॉडल, राइट. उसके बाद से आईसीएस मॉडल के अंदर पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप को, पॉलिटिकल एग्जीक्यूटिव का रोल बहुत मिनिमल था. और हमारे जो केस स्टडीज थे वो यही था कि मतलब आप डीएम हैं या आप एसपी हैं तो आप क्राइम की सिचुएशन को कर देंगे, आप ये कर देंगे. आई थिंक दैट हैज चेंज्ड. टुडे वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी आर one of the many players in a very large ecosystem of governance. You see, the ecosystem of governance has expanded. Because the ecosystem of governance has expanded, therefore it calls for new partnerships, it calls for new leadership styles, it calls for new ways of communication, new ways of receiving information, new ways of giving information, and new ways of discussions and listening. So I think all this has changed. So today, one of the most important things which we teach at the academy is that, look, you are not a lone player. You're not the solitary. You're not the knight in the shining armor who's going to set things right. You have to work with your counterparts in police, in development administration. You have to work with the civil surgeon. You have to work with the elected representatives. You have to work with everybody. Only then you will be able to bring about a transformation in this country. और अभी तो हम एक बना देते हैं कि डीएम, लेकिन आज देखिए जैसे जैसे भारत अर्बनाइज कर रहा है तो डीएम, पुलिस कमिश्नर, म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर और जो इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं, जब तक इन चारों पांचों की जब तक अच्छी कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होगी तब तक आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते. अकेले डीएम या अकेले म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर या अकेले पुलिस कमिश्नर या अकेले चेयरमैन म्युनिसिपैलिटी कुछ नहीं. टेक द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ गुड़गांव फॉर एग्जांपल. आई मीन गुड़गांव इज अ क्लासिक केस वेयर ऑल दीज 3 or 4 people have to work together. राइट. सो अगर गुड़गांव में समस्याएं हैं तो उन गुड़गांव की समस्याओं को सब लोगों को मिलके ही तब साथ काम करेंगे ना. और ये जो एक एलिमेंट है वन अप मैनशिप का जो स्वाभाविक भी होता है, हमारी ये कोशिश रहती है एकेडमी में और इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में भी ये बताने की कि देखिए वी ऑल हैव टू वर्क टुगेदर. दैट इज वन एफर्ट दैट वी आर मेकिंग. We may not always succeed because the best of systems don't succeed sometimes, but that's an effort. That's the ideal that we have.
बिल्कुल. बट सर मेरा आपसे थोड़ा एक कठिन प्रश्न अब ये है कि आपने कहा कि एक पूरा इकोसिस्टम बन गया है.
कोई प्रश्न कठिन नहीं होता. आप, मैं चैलेंज दे रहा हूँ रोहन आपको कि क्या पूछो, जो पूछना पूछो.
अच्छा सर, अगर मैं आम नागरिक की तरह मैं देखूं तो डीजीसीए जो सिविल एविएशन देखती है उसके जो डायरेक्टर जनरल हैं फैज अहमद किदवाई, वो एक आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं. सर्वेयर जनरल के जो हेड हैं, जो मैप्स देखती हैं कंट्री के, वो भी एक आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं. पहले फौजी होते थे. तो सरस डेयरी जो राजस्थान में है, उनके जो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं श्रुति भारद्वाज, वो भी आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं. तो डीजीसीए में सर एयरफोर्स के वेटरन्स क्यों नहीं होने चाहिए हेड? सर्वेयर जनरल जहां पहले फौजी होते थे वहां भी अब आईएएस आ गए हैं. सरस डेयरी जहां दूध और दही का है वहां भी आईएएस है. तो सर ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि आईएएस हर जगह बैठ गई है.
आई थिंक जो रोल क्लैरिटी, लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द जॉब of either the surveyor general or of the DGCA or of the सरस डेयरी, right? इन जॉब्स में प्रोफेशनल्स भी आते हैं, इन जॉब में आईएएस ऑफिसर्स भी आते हैं. दीज आर जनरल मैनेजमेंट पोजीशंस. और जहां तक सर्वे जनरल की बात है, इसमें आर्मी ऑफिसर्स भी रहे हैं और इसमें सिविलियन स्ट्रीम के ऑफिसर्स भी रहते हैं. दोनों स्ट्रीम्स के ऑफिसर्स इसमें रहते हैं. और इसमें जो हेड ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, अगर अंदर से आ सकता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन अगर उसमें कोई आईएएस अधिकारी आता है तो कोई बहुत I mean, it's not something which is going to create a problem for that organization, because let us understand what is the meaning of top management. What is the meaning of top management? Top management is there to give a direction. Top management is there to provide a policy support to the professional. Look, let us understand one thing. I was the Joint Secretary Horticulture, heading the horticulture mission. I do not know any horticulture. The Horticulture Commissioner knows all about horticulture. But the Horticulture Commissioner does not understand banking. He does not understand what is an investment decision. He does not understand what would it require to have a cold chain logistics system in place. He will not understand how do you set up cold chains in Srinagar and in areas where apple is being produced to increase the value chain along the line. So it is not that his job is less important or my job is more important. It is when the professional and the journalist and the political executive, when we all work together, these are three legs of a tripod. You require a political leadership, because without political leadership, things will not happen. I mean, NDDB would not have come into existence only because of Dr. Kurian. NDDB required a very strong political push. It required a very strong political backing. The FCI is not FCI because FCI comes. FCI requires a very strong budgetary support. So FCI requires a policy parameter. It requires a budgetary support. It requires a good administrative manager to handle it, and then it requires good technology. So when everything can go together, then it becomes much better. Now, having said that, I agree with you that ideally in an ideal scenario, the IS officers should be doing districts, key directorates, and secretariat positions, and positions like managing directors and other sorts of things. There should be scope for professionals to do it, but it is not a regular feature. I mean, it is very rare for IAS officers to become survey general. Sometimes these are problems because of, I don't know the inner workings. There could have been a problem. There could have been something. But DGCS have been professionals. DGCS could have been from the IAS, but do not underestimate the ability of a person with 3 decades of experience to manage a complex organization. After all management is now. Take, for example, Indigo. Indigo had a professional management and it collapsed like a house of cards. Come on, Rohan, क्या बात कर रहे हो? I mean, जब कोई गलती किसी IAS से हो जाती तो उसको इतना हाईलाइट करते, तो जब कोई गलती प्रोफेशनल से हो जाती तो कहते हो गई. Yeah, who's heading the Indigo board? Tell me. Vikram Singh Mehta. Who are the professionals on the board? All expats. I mean, all and getting what kind of salaries? And they have flunked our aviation sector for 3 days, 4 days. There was complete chaos. So उसमें कुछ आप सवाल नहीं करते, और मतलब किसी IAS अफसर से थोड़ी बहुत कहीं चूक हो जाती तो आप इतना बड़ा उसको हाईलाइट करते हैं. ये तो फेयर नहीं है, रोहन.
नहीं सर, इंडिगो वालों को तो बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ेंगे हम. वो तो दे आर अकाउंटेबल एंड रिलायबल, और उनपे तो काफी कार्रवाई होगी भी सर.
जब तक एयर इंडिया बीच में कभी IAS अधिकारियों के पास इतना क्रिटिसाइज करते थे, अभी इतना क्रिटिसाइज करते थे. अब देखो, now Air India is with the Tatas. They've not been able to expand their market share. They've not been able to beat Indigo, and their flights are as good or as bad as they were earlier, right? So it's a see, Rohan, it is very easy. It is very easy. The IAS is a good whipping boy, because there is many reasons why. When you can't blame the politician, you can't blame this, you can't blame that. चलो एक बेचारा IAS उसको आप पकड़ के बोलते हो कि चलो इसकी हम खिंचाई कर देते हैं. And we've done well. Yeah, come off it. I mean, where is the चलो let's move on to your next question.
हाँ सर, आपने हॉर्टिकल्चर वाला बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जाम्पल दिया, तो मेरे को उसी पे जानना था कि जो स्पेशलाइजेशन है, स्पेशली डोमेन्स में, क्या वो कल्चर IAS में आ रहा है, धीरे आ रहा है, पहले नहीं था?
I'll tell you. See, for example, I have spent most of my life in rural development, agriculture, food processing, training, and to an extent industry. So these are only the 4 positions that I've held all my life, right? I mean, most of my working life, I've been, I've moved into these areas as a matter of choice. I've always enjoyed working in agriculture, agribusinesses, food processing, cooperation, cooperatives. So all these sectors have a. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I've spent about in my service span of 36 years, I've spent about 10 years in training, 10 years in the field postings, and the remaining in agriculture and industry, and both which are there, which call for a lot of interface with the general public on investment decisions. Agriculture is also actually an industry. Agriculture is the biggest industry that you have in terms of numbers of people who are doing it. In terms of basically, it's a question of being able to have trust, being able to understand what is it that your stakeholder wants, being able to deliver what he wants, and being able to explain to him if things cannot be done, right? And also to build a robust system. And I think in the agriculture sector, I'll give you an example, where I feel that, at least in the states that I have seen and worked, the Uttarakhand and West Bengal, the system is very robust. So take the case of the Kisan credit card, right? The Kisan credit card gives you credit. Now, along with the Kisan credit card, you have the soil health card, which tells you the status of the soil, which also helps you determine what is the kind of fertilizer that is required on that soil, which cuts down the churi on urea and other things, right? So you have the soil health card, you have the Kisan credit card, you have the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, right? So when all these things are linked organically through the large IT space that we have and through the large technology base that we have, so we are moving towards a near seamless system insofar as agri inputs is concerned, insofar as agri credit is concerned, insofar as agri insurance is concerned, and insofar as marketing is concerned. You see, today, for example, look, there'll always be when you are running a system for 125 million people, there could be some glitches. But in general, earlier when there used to be a crop failure on account of a certain thing, the decision on what compensation to pay was slightly arbitrary, right? You come from the constituency of the agriculture minister, so you will get a slight edge. You come from another area where the central team has not been able to visit. You see, because even when it comes to deciding compensation, it will depend on which areas you've been able to visit. So you can't visit every area. But now with a robust agri insurance system, which is driven by the private sector, by the larger insurance companies, yes, there are some disputes which are always there. All insurance companies, all insurance disputes will be there. But is the system becoming robust? That's the question. Are we better than we were 10 years ago? Are we better than we were 20 years ago? Are we better than what we were 30 years ago? So if you look at the trajectory of growth, you have always got to consider timelines. You have to consider temporality. And that's very important.
बिल्कुल सर. सर एक चीज मेरे को बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी, आपने कहा 10 years आप ट्रेनिंग में थे, फिर आप फील्ड में थे, एंड आपका जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है बड़ा अद्भुत रहा है, क्योंकि आप वेस्ट बंगाल में, उत्तराखंड में, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में, फिर आईएएस एकेडमी के डायरेक्टर थे. तो इतने साल में आपका क्या अनुभव रहा है सर? ग्राउंड रियलिटीज और ट्रेनिंग में कितना ज्यादा अंतर है?
देखो, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि 3 फेजेस मैंने देखे हैं ट्रेनिंग के. जो पहला फेज था जब हम लोग ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे, उसमें तो फोकस ये था कि आपको नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, आपको स्किल्स होने चाहिए और आपका एटीट्यूड अच्छा होना चाहिए, बिकॉज नॉलेज वाज नॉट इजीली, सो यू नीडेड टू actually nothing wrong with it. That time you needed to know what the CPC is, what the CRPC is, what is land measurement, what are the land measurement codes. Those are very important. You needed to know how to measure land and do all these things. You needed to do test identification, parades, inquests and all these things. Technology was hardly there. रोहन, जब हम फेज 1 में थे तब हमारे को एक कंप्यूटर ला के दिखाया गया अकेडमी में. जैसे ये कंप्यूटर है, वेरी इम्प्रेस किया, ये कंप्यूटर होता है, अच्छा क्या करते हैं कंप्यूटर से? ओके, आप ना सब लोग बताओ आपका ईयर ऑफ बर्थ बताओ. तो हम सब ने अपना ईयर ऑफ बर्थ बताया, तो कंप्यूटर ने 10 मिनट के अंदर बता दिया कि आप में से इतने लोग 59 बॉर्न है, इतने 60 बॉर्न है, इतने 61 बॉर्न है, इतने 62 बॉर्न है. हमने कहा वाओ, because this would have taken 3 days for the office to have computed, right? So they were able to give us this thing. So that was the level of technology when we had joined the service. So we needed to know information. We needed to know what the land was. We needed to know what is the subsection, clause, exception, provision kya hai. Aaj knowledge is available right there. Today, knowledge is not important. Knowledge is important, but you don't have to cram that knowledge. Today, what is important is the interlinks. Today, what is important is a very positive attitude. Is your attitude one of reaching out? Is your attitude one of trying to connect with people? what are the skills? Today you require skill sets. You require a skill set to make a PPT immediately. You require a skill set to organize your thoughts, put it into a cabinet note. Material to mil jayega. Information is, today information is chasing you rather than you chasing information. I've been writing some articles now about sensors and various things. Now, earlier, if I had to write this article, I would to sit in a library, to check ki पहली census में क्या था, दूसरी census में क्या था, what were multi-member constituencies. Today everything is available on the click mouse, and by virtue of being a fellow at the Prime Minister's Memorial Library, I also have the subscription to all the libraries of the country. So one button and you can go to any library. You can go to any library in the world actually now. So everything is so easily available. So along with technology and along with information, our attitudes are changing. Therefore, today our training is more focused on connecting information, on connecting the dots, on understanding the much larger picture, on understanding how one thing leads to another, right? So that's a change of great import. It's working with partners. Take for example, now in Benares, Varanasi, they're planning. There's a initiative which is trying to make Varanasi beggar free. Now, 30 years ago, it would have thought let the DM make a committee and let him try to. It's no longer possible. So today, you require the corporates, you require the NGOs, you require the district administration, you require the cops, you require philanthropists, you require designers, you require engineers, you require a whole ecosystem to do anything. So it is this realization that whether it is, and look, as we move out of our bread and butter problems, now we have new sets of issues that are coming up. Restoration of old structures, preservation of arts, development of languages, access and things. So this calls for new kinds of partnerships. And therefore, the IAS officer of today has to be far more nimble, far more mobile, far more responsive to these changes. And some of us are doing it well, some of us are not doing it well, which is I think what will happen to every large organization. That there'll be some very bright people, some laggards, and some will follow the ecosystem's approach. If things are going well, they'll do well. If things are not doing well, they'll lag behind.
So you've actually written a lot about all of this. आपने फेडरलिज्म के बारे में काफी लिखा है. आपकी 2 किताबें, उनमें से एक इसी के ऊपर है. तो जब आप देखते हैं भारत को, आपने अलग अलग नजरिए से देखा है, तो फेडरलिज्म बढ़ रहा है या सारी जो शक्तियां हैं, पावर है, वो सेंट्रलाइज हो रही है, दिल्ली में सब कुछ हो रहा है?
दोनों चीजें जो हैं वो साथ साथ चल रही है. Because there are many areas in which the federal structure, in which the states are becoming more independent and more autonomous and have more authority than before. And in many areas, the center is becoming more powerful. Now, I don't know how you look at it. You see, for example, there's something like ease of doing, but like GST has certainly helped the collections everywhere. And today, Rohan, all said and done, we are sitting on, you don't realize the sort of poverty this country has been through. And you don't realize government ke paas kitne kam paise hote. Today, the government of India sits on 56 lakh crores and all the state governments together sit on another 50 lakh crores. So you look at the domain, look at the range. Now, you see the GST, you look at GST, you can say that GST has taken away the power of the state. You can also say that GST has helped the states to generate more, because I can assure you that states would not have been able to generate 50 lakh crores without the GST. Right. So the GST has been good for both the state. It has been good for the center as well. Now, as far as the policy aspect is concerned, certain policies have always been the remit of the union government. For example, your export policy, your tariff policy, your defense policy, your communication policy. If Mr. Trump or the EU or somebody is trying to do something with our things, so it affects. Look, Trump tariffs are also affecting all the states. It's affecting the engineering cluster in Howrah. It's affecting the diamond merchants in Surat. It's affecting the hosiery merchants elsewhere. So across, so in certain areas, the states are becoming more aware of their rights. They are in a position to plan more. And when it comes to investment decisions, when it comes to to getting, whether it is investments in technology or investments in healthcare or investments in education, there's a lot of role which the states have. In fact, the other day I released a report on the tech preparedness of different states. Right now, how prepared a state is to get more technology is entirely a function for state government. States are competing with each other, right? So gone are the days when the center could have decided. And look, as more and more privatization happens, as more and more things get into the domain of the markets, the states are naturally going to get more ability. So say take for instance the Jewar Airport. I mean, the Jewar Airport is both government of India and a credit to the government of UP. It couldn't have happened only because the government of India wanted it. Hasn't happened only because the government of UP wanted. So today it's a question of collaboration. And on this, I must say that there is a fair amount of political maturity in our country. Look, the Prime Minister attends investment summits everywhere. The Commerce Minister attends investment summit everywhere. It is not that if we do a summit in Bengal, there's going to be a boycott. No, that doesn't happen. I mean, the Prime Ministers and the Union Ministers have gone to state investment summits irrespective of the political dispensation in power. So I think it's a very healthy sign. And there will be political slugfest that will go on, and there will be areas in which they'll collaborate, and there will be areas in which,
We'll compete.
do all these things. चलता रहेगा, ये क्या problem?
बिल्कुल सर. सर मैं वापस ना IAS और सिविल सर्विसेज पे आना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि उस पे थोड़ी और बात करनी चाहिए हमको.
हाँ, जरूर करिए.
आपका जो
मुझे बात करिए.
जब आप आए थे सर IAS में और अब जब कैंडिडेट्स आते हैं तो कितना अंतर हो गया, क्योंकि कितनी चीजें बदल गई हैं. जैसे आपने कहा टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है, इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सेस आ गई है, तो जो कैंडिडेट्स अब आ रहे हैं वो कैसे आते हैं सर?
देखिए, एक चीज तो ये है कि हमारे टाइम तक भी इंग्लिश एजुकेशन का और एक एलीट बैकग्राउंड का होना अनिवार्य तो नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन एक जनरल माहौल जो था वो थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग, इंग्लिश बैच था तब. बिकॉज वी मस्ट रिमेम्बर कि उस समय देयर वर नो ओबीसी रिजर्वेशंस, देयर वर नो ईडब्ल्यूएस रिजर्वेशंस. तो एक डिफरेंट माहौल था. और अब जो है, आई वुड से कि कंपटीशन हैज इंक्रीज्ड मैनीफोल्ड. Competition has increased manifold, but the social class and the social background of candidates has become more diverse than it ever was in our time. So there is much greater diversity in the people who are taking this exam. एक वो जो आगे जो एक whether it is because the training institutes or whatever, coaching institute or whatever, आगे इतने लोग एग्जाम नहीं लिखते थे. और अब तो खैर जगह जगह में, मैं तो जब ट्रैवल करता हूँ तो अरुणाचल के ईटानगर में भी देखता हूँ IAS कोचिंग सेंटर है, और कपूरथला में भी है, और मेरठ में भी है, और जगह जगह पे ये हैं. फिर ये because of online connectivity, so the numbers have increased. Because of the increase in numbers, competition has increased, and the social base of the people who are making it, that is definitely far more democratic, far more inclusive than it was in our times. In our time, it was St. Stephen's, JNU, IITs, Allahabad University, and a few people from here and there. But now you have kids from Bilaspur, you have kids from Kota, not Kota, Kottayam, all kind. We've had dentists, we've had nurses, we've had architects, we've had chartered accountants, we've had Sanskrit scholars, we've had people who studied mathematics. So the range of people that are coming and joining the academy is far more versatile than in our times. We had a lot of English honors, history honors, economics honors, a lot of engineers and chartered accountants. But in a large batch, I still recall that in our batch, 160 in the IAS. I mean, Delhi and within Delhi, the DU and the IIT and the JNU would have contributed a fair amount. About 45 to 50% would have been from Delhi, but now it's far more diverse, which is very good.
बिल्कुल सर, आपने OBC और EWS रिजर्वेशंस के बारे में बताया. सर, आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर भी रह चुके हैं, आप ट्रेनर भी रह चुके हैं. आपका जो नजरिया है, अंदाज है, उससे क्या है कि आपके हिसाब से रिजर्वेशन को खत्म कर देना चाहिए, वो समय आ गया है, या अभी भी जरूरी है रिजर्वेशन?
देखिए, ये largely this is the question for the political leadership to take. But I would say one thing for sure कि गैप ऐसा नहीं है जैसा लोग उसको बताते हैं. देखिए, because of reservations, what is that जिसको IPS होना था वो IAS हो जाएगा, जिसको जो इनकम टैक्स में होना था वो, if he is from the EWS category or OBC category, will be pushed up. और जो so it is the gap between the person who makes it and the gap between the person who doesn't make it is not very wide, especially when your base is, I mean, 12, 13 lakh applicants of whom, 7 to 8 lakh sit for the exam. So the variation and the range is not all that much. So it is good. I think it is in a way reflection of the times. So it's okay. So I think let's give it a few more years. I mean, I don't know the because when it comes to actual work, actual work of the IAS and the IPS is basically management, right? You're not doing any rocket science here. So I think its inclusion has its advantages, but it's largely a political call that has to be taken, because fact remains that when you diversify the base, especially when it comes to the, I mean, we would have never understood the problems of people who are visually challenged, of people who have lack of access. I think their entry into the academy has made us far more conscious. It has made us far more conscious. It has made us more aware of the problem, because that is the only time. In fact, I met the visually challenged officers only in the last few years, and then you realize that there is actually a lot of brilliance there. There's a lot of might there, and there's a lot of intelligence there, and therefore it is very good. So I think it's a positive step. Inclusion is an important aspect.
सर एक और पॉलिटिकल चैलेंज है जो काफ़ी बार न्यूज़ में आता है लेकिन उसके बाद ज़्यादा चर्चा नहीं होती उस पर, वो है लैटरल एंट्री. काफ़ी लोग
Yeah,
बोलते हैं कि
I'm
लैटरल
for lateral entry. I will be very clear. You see, lateral entry, मेरे ख्याल से should not be at the joint secretary. It should be for professionals. जैसे देखिए, if we need a person in the civil aviation, get him into the DGCA. If you want a person in tourism, let's get him in the tourism, marketing, publicity, advertising domain, rather than as joint. You see, we have confused the role of the joint secretary with the role of a technical person, right? A joint secretary is not a tech. I mean, getting a expert into the agriculture ministry will not solve the problem. But if you want to have, let us say that we wanted to set up cold chain, infrastructure in the country. There you require a cold chain professional. So we hired a cold chain professional, Pavanesh Kohli, who joined in as a director, as the CEO. He's getting more salary than I was getting, which is perfectly fine, because that is a role which only he can do. But if you were to ask him to make cabinet notes, if you were to ask him to field the question in the parliament, that's not his training. So we have often confused, roles, and there are three very distinct roles. There is the political role,
Yes.
which I call Prabhu Shakti. There is the Mantrana role, which is what the secretariat which has to be given. Then there is the Utsaha Shakti, or the power of of providing the feedback and providing the right input. These are the jobs, these are domains which should come from people who are professionals. For instance, the National Book Trust should be handed over to a professional. There's no problem about that. There's no point having a joint secretary there. But getting a publisher or a writer or a scholar to become, if you get a professor as joint secretary in the education department, you are not doing anything great, because he's not meant to be joint secretary education. A joint secretary education is a different and a specialist. A joint secretary's role, if you look at it that way, it's like an advocate. An advocate does not understand. He deals with 10 different cases, right? So, as a policy professional, our job as secretaries and as joint secretaries is to understand what is the political mind of the minister. What is it that let me get back to agriculture. Our mandate at that time was that the share of horticulture in the overall agricultural scenario of the country must increase, because we've achieved self-sufficiency in cereals. We now need to put our land to strawberries and bananas and mangoes and lychees and nuts and all these things. Now, with the coming in of the National Horticulture Mission, in about 5 to 7 years' time, we were able to increase the weight, volume, and the coverage of horticulture crops. So this is something which required a political will. It required an administrative ability. to connect with all the states, to connect with the banks, to connect with the railways, to connect with all. I mean, the problem is not of bananas. The problem is of bananas, ripening those bananas and then getting them to Delhi or to various other cities on time. Now, that is not the expertise of the Horticulture Commissioner. But getting the right variety of bananas into the country, deciding what will be best suited for Kerala, what will be best suited for Punjab, what is the best agroclimatic condition, that is his job. I do not interfere with his job. He does not interfere with my job. When you have to enhance the production of honey in the country, I cannot go around making deep boxes. But when it comes to understanding how this honey has to be handled, what are the standards for honey, what are the global standards of honey, then that is where the administration comes in. And let me tell you that I'm very proud to say that both in honey and in fruits and vegetables, I mean the sectors that I've worked in for a fair amount of time, we seem to be doing very well. And that's a joint effort, it's a joint collaborative effort. The political class, the bureaucracy, and the technical professionals, and of course the people, we all work together. Then the things move in harmony. Otherwise, they do not.
बिल्कुल सर, एक बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट मेरे को सवाल पूछना है आपसे, जो मेरे को लग रहा है ज्यादा लोग कभी सोचते नहीं उस बारे में। 10 साल पहले आपके साथ ऐसे बात करना शायद किसी के लिए भी मुश्किल होता। डिजिटाइजेशन ने बहुत इजी कर दिया है एक्सेस और स्पेशली इंटरेक्शन विद ब्यूरोक्रेसी, विद सीनियर मिनिस्टर्स, विद ऑफिसर्स। तो आपने वो टाइम भी देखा है जब इंटरनेट नहीं था और डिजिटल लाइफ नहीं थी, और आपने वो समय भी देखा है जब डिजिटल आ गया है। तो डिजिटाइजेशन ने कैसे इम्प्रूव किया है भारत में जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है?
मैंने जो आपको पहले एग्जांपल दिया वो किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड को लिंक किया सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड के साथ, सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड को लिंक किया हमने प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना के साथ, और एक टिक में सब कुछ हो जाता। आगे हमारे सिस्टम इतने वो थे, उसी आई मीन आगे आई रिमेम्बर वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जब वो किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड की मीटिंग होती थी तो एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिसर बोलता है कि इस वैरायटी राइस के लिए इतने पैसे करने, इसके लिए ये करने, इसके लिए। नाउ वी हैव सॉर्ट ऑफ मोर और लेस understood that this is the range within which it has to be given. But one more important thing is that apart from digitization, it is the element of trust which has come. 20 साल पहले सरकार ये सोचती थी कि हम किसान पे बड़ा एहसान कर रहे हैं उसको क्रेडिट कार्ड देके। वी डोंट रियलाइज कि उसको क्रेडिट नहीं देंगे तो हमारी प्रोडक्शन नहीं बढ़ेगी, तो हम ये फूड सेफ्टी एक्ट कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, हम अपना ICDS कैसे चलाएंगे, हम अपना ये जो इसको कैसे बढ़ावा देंगे। देखिए, बट सो दीज आर ऑल लिंक्ड थिंग्स, देयर ऑल लिंक्ड थिंग्स। एक चीज और मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा, एक और चीज जिसके लिए मैं क्रेडिट लेना चाहूंगा, मैं अकेला नहीं, पूरे एग्रीकल्चर पे देंगे कि पहले ना हम ये सबको ये जो मिलेट्स थे इनको कोर्स सीरियल कहते थे, यूज्ड टू बी कॉल्ड कोर्स सीरियल्स, नोबडी वांटेड टू ईट, वी चेंज द नेम टू न्यूट्री सीरियल्स, Now, of course, they are called divine cereals, and they are called the best cereals and nutritious cereals. But again, it's a matter of mindset. It's a matter of and now that I've started eating bajra rotis, I find they're very good. So but it's also a question of how you project things. So bureaucracy ko, politics ko, politicians ko, everybody has a very important role to play in this country.
Sir, आखिरी सवाल मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि हर साल लाखों युवा IAS ऑफिसर बनने के सपने रखते हैं, देखते हैं, एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ाई करते हैं, तैयारी करते हैं। अभी उसमें इंजीनियर भी वही एग्जाम दे रहा है, जिसने BA इन हिस्ट्री किया है वो भी सेम एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, जिसने अकाउंटिंग की है वो भी सेम एग्जाम दे रहा है। बनना सब IAS ही चाहते हैं। तो सर, इसमें अगर एग्जाम वैसा है, लोग अलग अलग दुनिया से आ रहे हैं, तो स्पेशलाइजेशन और डोमेन इंटरेस्ट का क्यों नहीं अभी तक हम एग्जाम मॉड्यूल में ला पा रहे हैं कि जो इंजीनियर है उसको स्पेसिफिक टाइप की मिनिस्ट्रीज में मिले, जो टूरिज्म पढ़ के आए वो टूरिज्म में जाए। ऐसा क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हम अभी तक?
ये आपका उससे लिंक करो जो आपने सवाल लेटरल एंट्री पे किया है।
हाँ जी।
पहला जो काम है ब्यूरोक्रेसी का, द फर्स्ट वर्क ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज टू इम्प्लीमेंट व्हाटएवर गवर्नमेंट डिसीजंस हैव बीन मेड, राइट? एंड उसके लिए यू डू नॉट रिक्वायर स्पेशलिस्ट नॉलेज ऑफ दैट डोमेन। अगर आपको पहले जिसको हम MG नरेगा कहते थे, अब जिसको हम ये यहाँ हमने जो स्कीम निकाली है आज, BB ग्राम R स्कीम को निकाली है, विकसित भारत स्कीम जो आज निकाली, तो इसके लिए यू रिक्वायर गुड कॉमन सेंस। You require good common sense, good administrative and good management skills. That is the most important. देखिए, हमें ना रोल कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है, बहुत रोल कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है। देखिए, कितने इंजीनियर्स और कितने डॉक्टर्स हर साल प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं। जब हम कहते हैं ये एक सीट, अरे भाई, आफ्टर ऑल इंडिया इज अ वेरी लार्ज कंट्री, वी प्रोड्यूस थाउजेंड्स ऑफ डॉक्टर्स, थाउजेंड्स ऑफ इंजीनियर्स, अगर उनमें से 5-10 आ भी गए सिविल सर्जन तो क्या होगा? डजंट मैटर। And all education is meant to develop your mind, is there to develop your cognitive thinking. So I think it's quite fine that as long as a person, if a person is interested in doing what he's doing, he should be happy with it. If a person is not happy doing what he's doing, he should quit. We have the example of your editor and my good friend, Atul. He was very bright. I enjoyed training him, but he was not satisfied, so he quit. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. He's doing a very good job there as well. Much better job perhaps. You see, एक चीज जो हमें बड़ी क्लियर होनी चाहिए वो ये है कि 1985 में मेरे पास क्या ऑप्शन थे. I could either have continued being in the Times of Indian Economic Times, or I could have joined the IS, or I could have taught history at Khalsa College, Jalandhar. Now, amongst all these three, the IS certainly cut above the other, without meaning any disrespect to the teaching profession or that, because the scope was much larger. But today, there is, and in fact, the salaries are also better. But today, you have to choose whatever you want to choose because the economy has grown. So today, at this point of time, a person who's in the print media, a person who joins as a marketing executive, a person who's a coder, or even a person who's practicing his law, or who's becoming a chartered accountant, or who's doing his architecture, they'll all be in the same sort of income range, perhaps higher than the income range which an IAS or an IPS officer would have. Therefore, today, for the first time, young people can follow what they want to follow and what they want to do. So it's a better environment today. And let me also tell you, a lot of people write the exam knowing fully well that they may succeed, they may not succeed. But then remember that today a person who sits for the civil services also applies for the state civil services, also applies for the banking services examination, also applies for the CAPF examination. He applies for 10 different positions, right? So it is not that the IAS is the only thing that he is preparing for. So if you look at the syllabus of, say, the Uttarakhand Public Service Commission, or the Haryana Public Service Commission, or the West Bengal State Public Service Commission, these are public service commissions that have gone for interviews and other things. So it's almost the same, right? So it's not that just because you're preparing for the IAS, you are blocking off other career opportunities. So you have to look at it in that sense. And it is still one of the fairest exams. Not still one. It is the fairest exam in the country, right? You can't you can't walk in. And there's no question of any influence being applied. There's been no, except for that Puja case which we had. But that also it's not that nothing to do with UPSC. It's got to do with the certification and with medical category and various other things. But the UPSC is not to be blamed in that Puja Kobragade case, or Puja, I forget her name, in that case as well.
राइट संजीव सर, धन्यवाद अपना समय देने के लिए. आपसे बात करके बड़ा मजा आया, बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी, और मैं चाहूंगा कि मैं आपसे
मुझे भी बहुत मजा आया. बीच में हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे, इसको चलते रहेंगे. वी कैन कंटिन्यू दिस कन्वर्सेशन, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम.
बिल्कुल सर, अब मैं वही कह रहा था कि मल्टीपल पार्ट्स करने चाहिए. आपको आपसे काफी चीजें और सीखने को मिलेंगी, काफी यूथ भी इंस्पायर होगा सर आपसे.
आई डोंट नो यू, कोशिश तो ये रहती है कि उनके साथ अपने हम एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करें. और ये भी मैं एक और चीज बताना चाहूंगा. देखिए, जो एक एडवांटेज जो है सिविल सर्विसेज ज्वाइन करने को, ये कि यू गेट पोस्टेड टू प्लेसेस दैट यू नेवर हर्ड ऑफ. You get to do things which you would have never widely imagined, and it's such a pleasure, to participate in this aspect of nation building, which very few professions would give you that sort of opportunity. When I joined the service, I had not heard of Purulia. So first posting was in Purulia. तो जब पता लगा कि पुरुलिया में posting हुई है, तो I thought ये पुरुलिया क्या चीज है. So then I realized इसमें Tropic of Cancer pass होता है. So I read Tropic of Cancer. Much later I realized that this was part of Mallabhum. And then one started hearing कि Mallabhum नाम क्यों पड़ा, मानभूम नाम क्यों पड़ा. तो पता लगा कि जब राजा सिंह ने इस पूरे एरिया को कैप्चर किया, तो सिंहभूम, वीरभूम, मानभूम. So when you go to a new place, you learn a lot, you understand a lot. So it's been a pleasure being in the services for 36 years. It's been even greater pleasure being out of the services for the last 5 years. So life is good. Life is very good.
बिल्कुल सर. On that inspirational note, sir, thank you. धन्यवाद.
नमस्कार. जय हिंद.
जय हिंद सर.